This will be my 4th year.
Okay, I have been teaching middle school for 5 years now, and I've taught 6th grade specifically for 4 of those 5 years.
I've been teaching here for 10 years.
13 years.
I started teaching in 1997, and I taught high school, and I taught 8th grade in Roseville for 6 years, and I subbed in middle school and high school for 4 years, and then I've been teaching 6th and 7th grade in White Bear Lake for 5 years. 5.
I have been teaching 6th grade students for over a decade, 10 or 11 years in the White Bear District.
Sometimes, in some aspects, but maybe not fully, no.
So if I feel that 6th graders are fully prepared to arrive at middle school, my opinion is no. I know that they come with great skills that they've developed in the elementary, but I think there's specific attributes that they need to do well in middle school that they haven't fully practiced quite yet.
Yes, I believe that they are prepared. Some are not ready for the challenges, like emotionally, but I think they are ready.
Yes and no. I think some youngsters mature faster and some take a little bit longer. So I think there are some that could use another year in an elementary setting, and there are some that do just fine.
Yes, I think 6th graders overall are ready to enter middle school. I think the hardest thing for 6th graders is having so many different classes and having to keep themselves organized and go from class to class to class to class and to stay organized. I think that's the biggest challenge of moving from elementary to 6th grade.
I think it's really hard to generalize if 6th graders are ready to enter middle school because some of them are mature and ready to handle it, and other ones are still a little bit immature and need a little bit more structure like the elementary provides. I think it's a great place to learn and grow, but I think that you have to know that you have to grow up when you come to middle school.
There is so much anxiety, so much, whether it's stress from all of the testing that they have to do, plus social media, so they're always connected to people, always hearing things. On social media, people are always much more of a loudmouth than even in real life, and that's very, very stressful comparative to like when I was in middle school and we only saw each other at school, or if you were in our neighborhood. It's very, very different.
So when I think about the biggest problems or struggles that 6th graders face, it is unfortunately social issues getting in the way of life. Feeling judged or just not feeling accepted by their friends or being excluded. Unfortunately, social issues are really coming up to the forefront for middle school students more than they used to, and that feels frustrating because you want a student to feel safe and able to learn when they come to school.
Terrible. It would be really hard for me to grow up in a world that everybody's recording me and knowing what's going on. I mean, like academic stuff is, I think the biggest challenge is having so much stuff to do outside of school that like keeping up with all of your social media and all that stuff it's like a full-time job. And then you gotta do school on top of that. It can be really hard. I think also like you said, the social media part of everybody's watching everything you do, and if you're not included in something, you really have to, I mean, that's gotta be tough to deal with. Like, if you've got a Snapchat thread going with somebody and you're not included in that, you've gotta probably thinking, why am I not in that, right? So that kind of stuff has gotta be really challenging.
I guess the social, like teachers sometimes underestimate how important the social aspect is. We just assume everybody should just be academic. But really at your age, that's such an important part of who you are that I think if we do a better job at keeping that in mind, you know, we sometimes think the world is ending because you didn't turn in your assignment, but really, you just need an extra day or something.
One of the biggest challenge the middle school kids have is social pressure. I think that the phones and the social media and all of the screens that kids are exposed to just makes it really challenging to feel good about themselves and who they are as a person, and to build up their sense of self-worth and not constantly be comparing themselves to others.
I think one of the biggest problems facing middle schoolers is pressure. Both school pressure, parent pressure, pressure from their friends, social media. I think there's just a lot of stress and pressure put on kids, and they have to understand that not everything is about them or needs to be about them, and that they should be able to relax and enjoy learning and enjoy school and enjoy their friends. And if they're in situations where they can't, they should find somebody to help them so they can enjoy those things again.
Know how to read the clock, and it's a big step. Know how to get from one place to the other. Know how to plan, like what to take with them and how to plan, instead of us just always telling them, like, oh, I can't get to my second mod on time because I didn't bring my stuff to mod 1. Like, well, then bring your stuff to mod 1. Like, they don't, like, those I can't remember what that's called. Those skills.
So when I think about rules and expectations I would like 6th graders to have when they arrive at my classroom, the top 4 for me would probably be teamwork, being able to work together well, because we've got kids coming from several different schools that they don't all know each other yet. Perseverance, for sure. There's a lot of work coming their way, so if they can persevere through it, that would help a lot. Best effort and work completion are also really important. Sometimes I think 6th graders feel overwhelmed by an assignment or a challenge, but if they can just give us their best effort and work to the completion that they are able to, I think they will do much better in 6th grade. Specifically as a Spanish teacher, when I get 6th graders in class, my main hope for them is that they really just kind of try to dive in and give it a try. They're willing to learn. It's kind of like an open opportunity for them to gain a new language, and so I think their main obstacle is just getting in their own way and not wanting to try. So just to dive in and try it.
Rules and expectations is basic, like raising your hand in class, talking when you're supposed to, working in groups quietly, or the basic classroom expectations that you should learn when you're in kindergarten, that kind of stuff. That's it. That's all I expect.
Just to try. I mean, sometimes not every subject comes easy to everyone, but if you just give it a good shot, there's so many people that are willing to help you.
This is Google Classroom, and this is where all of the teachers will assign homework and things that are due. And it can always update, so it will change like the style, the format, and stuff like that. That's one thing that you will need to know. Another is Skyward. You'll need to know your login ID and password. And once you sign in, you can look at all your grades and all that jazz. And so this is Schoology. You probably won't use this a lot, but it also updates and stuff like that. It just tells you what things are going on and what to know and stuff like that. The school will provide the planner and your Chromebook, and the planner is, you can like write things on which days like homework is assigned and anything that like your schedule and stuff like that. And also like a bunch of other info that you really don't need to know, but yeah, and then your hall passes and when you need to go to the bathroom and that stuff.
So I put all my important / new things, like important papers, in my planner because I don't want to carry around binders and stuff because I'm lazy. So I put all this stuff in. Like this I use on my final for science, which was important because I needed these things in it, all that. So I just put it in here to reach it easily.
Have a good weekend, peoples.
You too.
So this is Google Calendar, and you can use it to organize what you need to do. And it has all my due dates for stuff from Google Classroom. It has all the holidays listed, and my parents have also shared calendars with me so I can see like when I have appointments or like when other people have things going on, so I know when people are gonna be home. You can switch it into different views, like you can go into week view and see what things are this week. Like my mom had a meeting on Monday and I could figure that out to have him talk to her about it, so